Yes, last night in Section 1, 5A, Gateway Gators over the Uniontown Red Raiders, 63-42. And the Laurel Highlands Mustangs downed Albert Gallatin, 66-27. Other Section 1, 5A basketball action, Greater Latrobe downs Franklin Regional, 58-43. Penn Trafford, 63. The McKeesport Tigers, 37. Other local boys scores. Mount Lebanon Blue Devils over Connellsville, 61-56. Ligonier Valley downs Brownsville, 73-51. Fraser Commodores over California, 60-36. Southmoreland Scotties take Waynesburg, 62-61. Carmichael's, 67. Mapletown, 35. Jefferson Morgan Rockets over Fort Cherry, 52-42. Bell Vernon Leopards beat East Allegheny, 77-69. Ringgold Rams down the Baldwin Highlanders, 53-52. And Elizabeth Forward over West Mifflin, 80-53. Girls basketball. Baldwin, 66. Uniontown, 60. Peters Township beats Albert Gallatin, 63-16. McGuffey over Brownsville, 40-33. And California beats Carmichael's, 42-12. West Green over Clareton, 46-27. So that is a look at the high school basketball scoreboard. Turning our attention to the National Hockey League. One final to report from last night. Columbus Blue Jackets beat the Chicago Blackhawks 6-2. In the NBA, LA Lakers defeat Washington 142-111. New Orleans 114, Memphis 106. Boston Celtics down Sacramento 112-93. New York Knicks over Portland 127-97. Orlando takes Toronto 130-120. Denver Nuggets beat the LA Clippers 122-109. Phoenix 126, Cleveland 113. Brooklyn over Utah 109-99. And the Detroit Pistons beat the Golden State Warriors 131-124. Top 25 college basketball action. I was hoping for a little bit of a better game. Michigan State did take the lead briefly after being down most of the game in the second half, but and Michigan went on a 15-4 run. Number 3, Michigan Wolverines beat 7th-rated Michigan State last night, 83-71. And in the Atlantic 10, 21st-rated St. Louis Billikens 102, the Dayton Flyers 71. So that's a complete look at the scoreboard. Turning our attention to sports obituaries. I wanted to report that one of my all-time favorites from the NFL passed away. Former San Francisco 49ers quarterback John Brodie passed away at the age of 90. A member of the Edward J. DeBartolo Sr. 49ers Hall of Fame inaugural class in 2009, Brodie was originally drafted as a 3rd overall selection by the 49ers in 1957 in the NFL Draft. Spent his entire 17-season career with San Francisco, 1957 to 73, where he appeared in 201 games, 159 starts, threw for 31,548 yards and 214 touchdowns. His 17 seasons marked the longest tenure of any 49ers player, while his 31,548 passing yards are the second most in franchise history, and his 214 touchdown passes are third most. Brodie also started all 5 postseason contests he appeared in and had 973 passing yards with 4 touchdowns. A 2-time All-Pro honoree, second team in 1965, first team in 1970, 2-time Pro Bowler, 1966 and 1971, NFL MVP In 1970, Brody guided the 49ers to back-to-back NFC championship games in 71 and 70, and had his jersey number 12 retired by the team in 73. Brody was also the 1965 recipient of the team's Len Ashmont Award, selected by his teammates for his inspirational and courageous play. Born John Riley Brody in San Francisco, California, on August 14, 1935, he attended Stanford, where he lettered in both football, 54 through 56, golf, 55 through 56. Following his senior football season in 56, Brody was named a unanimous All-American and also inducted into the Bay Area Sports Hall of Fame in 1988. One of my all-time favorites, John Brody, passing away, and that occurred on, well, what did I do with it? That occurred on January 23rd. Brody was 90 years old. Also, I missed this one last week. The Montreal Canadiens reported with great sadness the passing of Phil Goyette on January 17th at 92 years of age. Former forward, he was the second oldest among Canadiens alumni. Born in Lachine on October 31st, 1933, Goyette had a brilliant NFL career. Boy, what a stylish player Phil Goyette was, suiting up with 4 teams, including 7 glorious seasons with the Canadiens, with whom he etched his name on the Stanley Cup 4 times between 1957 and 1960. Goyette recorded 182 points in 375 games with the Canadiens, serving a total of only 44 penalty minutes. An elegant and efficient player. He was known as a gentleman on and off the ice, which earned him the Lady Byng Trophy in 1969-70 during a stellar season with the St. Louis Blues, with 29 goals and 78 points while spending only 16 minutes in the penalty box. Over his NHL career, Goyette played 941 games, totaling 207 goals and 674 points. A gifted centerman, he added 44 points in the playoffs in addition to playing a key role when his team was shorthanded. Goyette also played with the New York Rangers and the Buffalo Sabres. He concluded his career with the Rangers in 71-72 before becoming the first head coach in the history of the New York Islanders. Phil Goyette, passing away at age 92. And back to the world of pro football, and boy, I remember this guy too. The Kansas City Chiefs have had plenty of Super Bowl heroes, with most of them being a byproduct of the pairing between quarterback Patrick Mahomes and coach Andy Reid. It hasn't always been like this for the Chiefs, though. One of the Chiefs' original Super Bowl heroes, wide receiver Frank Pitts, passed away on January 16th at the age of 82. Pitts had his Super Bowl moment in the sun in the 4th Super Bowl game as the Chiefs bested the Minnesota Vikings 23-7 in 1970. It was one of the first Super Bowl victories for an AFL team, tracking on the Jets' upset win over the then Baltimore Colts the year before. Pitt's role was pivotal. He was Kansas City's speed receiver that year, and he finished second among Chiefs receivers with 31 receptions. He had a key 41-yard reception against the Oakland Raiders in the Chiefs' AFC Championship game victory that year, and he went on to be one of the unexpected stars in the Super Bowl. Super Bowl IV, with 3 catches and 3 carries on reverses in that Super Bowl. His heroics started with a 20-yard reception that set up Kansas City's first field goal by kicker Jan Stenerud. and a 19-yard run on an end around to set up the third field goal as the Chiefs went on to a 23-7 victory. Pitts finished with 70 total yards in the game. The wide receiver joined the Chiefs in 1965 as a fourth-round pick out of Southern University, but he didn't have much of an impact initially. The Chiefs' main offensive weapon back then was star receiver Otis Taylor. But Pitts remained a starter when he got into the lineup. Pitts was traded to the Cleveland Browns the next year and went on to play 3 seasons for the Browns and another for the then Oakland Raiders. He ended his 10-year career with 175 receptions for 2,897 yards and 16.6 yards per catch to go with 27 touchdowns. Frank Pitts passing away at the age of 82. So that's a look at our obituaries and our scoreboard. We're going to open up the phone lines. Open Line Sports Talk. Your chance to get up on the soapbox and be heard. We have one line open. If you'd like to get lined up and jump into the Sports Talk, simply pick up the phone. Now the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. That's 724-438-4593. We'll be back. Go to the phone lines right after this.
Looking for a dentist? Dr. Michael George and Dr. Ashley Parker of George Dental Associates, a Uniontown staple, has over 40 years' experience treating patients of all ages. Their caring, professional team of dentists and their staff offer a full range of dental services, including restorative, preventative, pediatric, cosmetic, and so much more. Visit GeorgeDentalAssociates.com today. That's GeorgeDentalAssociates.com and find out how they can enhance your smile through the art of dentistry.
You can go to Big Box Medical Office.
Now serving number 3,943.
Or
Hi, come on in. How are you?
for personal, professional health care you can trust. See Dr. Paul Hardley and nurse practitioners Tara Bozak, Jessica Reckhart, and Stacy Morris, proudly serving our community for over 30 years. Need care today? Walk-ins are always welcome. For your primary care, call Dr. Paul Hartley at 724-437-1109 or visit ppcp.org. Or
Serving number 3,944.
Couples Comedy with married comedians Tom Cotter and Carrie Louise comes to the State Theater Center for the Arts Friday, February 13th at 8 p.m. for a hilarious Valentine's performance. An America's Got Talent Season 7 finalist and one of the funniest comics today, Tom Cotter, and Carrie Louise, a Last Comic Standing finalist, are sure to make it an uproarious Valentine's night out. For tickets, call 724-439-1360 or online at statetheater.info. Recommended for those 16 and over.
ready to score big on your next home? Well, great news. Huge savings are waiting for you at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. From open floor plans perfect for game day parties to energy-efficient homes that will help you save money all season long, these homes are built to deliver. Don't wait on the sidelines. Make the winning play today and find the home that fits your family and lifestyle. Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon at 4500 Route 51.
Everyone, this is Kelly Clark with Autoland Hyundai in downtown Uniontown. 724-208-5281. What makes buying your next vehicle for me worthwhile? I make it a very easy 5-step process. You look, you shop, you ask, you decide. And I listen. Kelly Clark, Autoland Hyundai. 724-208-5281. 724-208-5281. Kelly Clark, Autoland Hyundai. I'll make you a good deal.
If you're an athlete, you know the importance of a strong recovery. NovaCare provides several athletic training programs geared toward athletic-related injuries and collaborates with Albert Gallatin, Uniontown, Fraser, California, Jefferson Morgan, Waynesburg, West Green, and Mapletown school districts to help student athletes stay at their best. From coordinating additional specialist care to treating on-site injuries, their experts cater to your personal needs. Specialized services include concussion diagnosis and rehabilitation and treatment for sport-specific injuries. For more information on athletic training at NovaCare, visit novacare.com or contact your local office today.
Hi, this is Bill Hillgrove, and you're listening to the Sportsline with George Von Benko on your local station, WMBS.
And welcome back to the Sportsline on this chilly Saturday morning. We're going to open up the phone lines, Open Line Sports Talk, your chance to get up on the soapbox and be heard. Anything and everything pertaining to the world of sports is on the docket. We've got one line open if you'd like to jump in. Dial the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. 724-438-4593. Let's take our first phone call of the morning. Good morning. You're on the Sportsline.
Good morning, George.
Good morning, Charles. I hope you're staying warm.
I am. I'm staying. As long as I'm on the inside, I'm fine.
So what's, as Myron would say, what's on your cranium?
Well, I'll start off by saying this way. I'm waiting at the altar of Pirate Baseball to enjoy this team. But, George, I'm ready for marriage, but I don't hear anybody saying I do.
Well, they still have several things they have to do, and most notably, they need a third baseman.
That's exactly what I mean. I think you knew that. I'm waiting. They've done okay so far, but they got to seal the deal.
Well, I'm beginning to think that Suarez may be a little too rich for their blood, which means they're going to have to go in another direction. And that probably would mean they may have to find a suitable trade partner. And I've heard rumors about the Texas Rangers, and I'm not quite sure what Texas have and a couple of other teams. But that might have to be the route they have to go to get a third baseman. And they've got capital. They've got pitching capital to get the third baseman.
Yeah. But, George, I'm hearing, that money with the Reds, is not the issue, that it's the length of contract.
Well, that might very well be, but that is money. That's another year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, you cannot start the season hoping, and this is the big word, hoping that Jared Triola is going to build on what he did the last month, because you know as well as I do, hope is not a good strategy.
No, he will revert to the mean. He's had more than enough opportunity to show what he is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hope does not go good with confidence.
My shopping list remains.
Yeah.
Third baseman.
Outfielder.
An outfielder with a little bit of pop. And a veteran starter for the back end of the rotation. Preferably a left-hander. Yeah.
They're probably closer now than they have been in past years, but they still have not sealed the deal. And George, I told you before, I will only fully believe it, and I think you're on board with me in this one, when I see the number under the W much bigger than I see the one under the L. That's when I will believe it.
Well, they're not going to be faced with a better opportunity than the one they have right now.
Right
because
now.
The division is good, but the division is winnable.
It can be gotten. Hey, if they step up, they can do just as well as the rest of them, but they have to do it. And they haven't shown in past years that they're willing to. But if this one is supposed to be different, there is no time like the present. George, but there's other things I want to talk to you about. I'm disappointed in the Steelers. That's not the one I wanted to see.
Who did you want to see?
I wanted to see Chris Shula.
Well, reading between the lines, the way it came down, and I'm going to ask Ray Fittipaldo for his thoughts on this, but it appears to me, reading between the lines, that McCarthy was their choice all along. They did the interviews that they needed to do, the in-person ones with the two black coaches that fulfilled the Rooney Rule, talked to one other guy, and I think that McCarthy was their choice all along. That's just the way I view it after I saw the way things came down. And, of course, that happened last Saturday, not too long after I ended my show. Early Saturday afternoon, the word came out, you know.
Why did you think it was McCarthy? Because there's a possibility that Aaron Rodgers is going to stay?
No, just the way it broke. I mean, their lack of setting up other interviews, they could have gone longer if they wanted to.
Yes.
I just think they had made a choice already, and they did what they needed to do to fulfill the Rooney Rule with those two black coaches, and they didn't set up any other interviews. That's what really set my mind thinking, well, they had made this choice. This was in the back of their mind all along.
Yeah, but George, why did they almost immediately come out and say that Chris Shula was their top? You know, that's what I heard.
Well, we're hearing different things about that.
Oh, okay.
I'm hearing from other people that he bombed his interview.
That Shula bombed his interview?
Yeah, his video interview.
Okay, but he did a virtual. Okay.
Yeah, he did a virtual, and so did the other guy, Shellhouse. But I'm hearing it didn't go that well. And, you know, really, if you think about it, he's in the midst of the playoffs, trying to get his team to the Super Bowl. And, yes, he's going to interview for the other jobs, but how much is his mind on doing the interview or getting his team ready to face whoever they got to face?
That's true. George, well, who do you like, Seahawks or Patriots?
I swear, I've been, and this might be the thing that makes them lose. I have not given the Seahawks enough credit all season long. I have said this. I didn't think they were that good. I thought it was a bit of a mirage. It is not a mirage. That defense is for real. The only thing that makes me worry is Sam Darnold, because he has had a tendency under the real bright lights, and it doesn't get any brighter than the Super Bowl, to not perform well. They're going to need a good performance from him. I think Seattle's got enough to get it done. That doesn't mean I'm overlooking New England, because I think Mike Vrabel has done an outstanding job coaching the Patriots.
Yeah, and Drake May might probably the best young quarterback in the game.
Yes.
But, George, I'm rooting for Seattle all the way because I like the Patriots, the Boston Patriots.
You like Babe Pirelli and Gino Cappelletti and Larry Guerin.
I was just thinking about that a few minutes ago.
Or should I say, now we got to call him correctly, Vito Babe Pirelli.
From Rochester, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Yes. Pirelli, Cappelletti, Buonaconti. You know, Mike Holovac.
Well, and just other guys, Art Graham, Jim Whalen, Larry Guerin. I mean, I loved that team. Yeah.
But, and believe me, one of my close friends is a big New England Patriots fan.
Oh, and they had one of my favorite guys who centered that offensive line for all those years when they were in Boston, the Boston Patriots. A guy named John Morris was a great center for them. Yeah.
Yeah, but I just had never cared for the New England.
Well, then, of course, you were probably happy that Belichick didn't get in on the first go-around.
Yes, because Belichick is not one of my favorite coaches, people, or anything else. As Don Shula said, what's his name? Belichick?
Yeah. Well, I think it finally came back to bite him. I really do, because I think a lot of the voters and people are criticizing them for this because they say, look at the record and all the Super Bowls, but a lot of those voters did not forget those two scandals.
George, two other quick things, and my time's running out. Number one, I'm wondering, are the Penguins peaking too early?
Maybe. I got to tell you, and I'm not going to have him on next week because next week is the Super Bowl, and Dick LeBeau is going to be on to talk, break down the game for me. But the following week, I want to get Bob Grove on because Bob was of the same opinion I was. I was not expecting much from this team at all, and quite frankly, they have overachieved in the fact that they're only 6 points out of first place in the Metropolitan Division, and they have played as well as they have, and they finally got over the bugaboo, let's hope it stays that way, of not being able to protect a lead.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, I am shocked at the way they've played. Is it too early? Maybe. Only time will tell.
But didn't this happen when Mike Sullivan come in from, was it Johnson? It seems like a new coach come in and the bloom is on the rose.
Well, what's going to be interesting is when the NHL gets into this break.
Yeah.
And how that is going to affect them. Are they going to be able to pick up and play like they've been playing, or is that going to maybe set them back after this layoff?
One other comment, George. Pitt and Duquesne basketball.
Well, don't get me started. Duquesne is what Duquesne is. They're 11-10, 3-5 in the Atlantic 10. They had that one great run under Dambrot, but it's pretty much status quo. Pitt, he's in his 8th year, and I'm telling you right now, nobody is coming to the games at the Peterson Event Center.
Is it Capel? Is it?
Well, it has to rest with Capel. He's the one that's picked. He said we need better talent. Well, who's going out and procuring the talent?
Yeah. And I'm disappointed in him because this was a guy that was on the Shevsky staff, and didn't he coach out at Oklahoma for a while?
Well, but he had a scandal out there too.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it just
I just sort of did a double take when I saw that quote after a press conference the other day. He says, we simply need better talent. Well, wait a minute. You're the one that's putting the team together.
But they're probably going to sink to the bottom of the East.
They're precariously close. They're 2-6 in the league, and they're at Clemson today, which is not an easy place to play.
And they're in danger of not even making the Atlantic Coast Conference
Right,
tournament.
Exactly.
Now,
if you're at the bottom, you don't get into the tournament.
Now, do you think that Duquesne is going to sink to the bottom, or will they stay around the middle somewhere?
They're going to stay around the middle.
You mean they'll beat some teams?
Yeah.
Oh, they'll beat the poorer teams, but lose to the.
They have played well at times. They're not a deep team, but they have played well at times, and it is what it is at Duquesne. I think they're going to be the middle of the road. They're 11-10 overall, as I said, 3-5 in the conference, and they play Rhode Island, which is a winnable game for them, tomorrow at noon at Cooper Fieldhouse.
But Duquesne probably isn't even NIT material, are they?
Say that again?
Duquesne isn't even NIT material.
I doubt it. Not with that record.
No. Well, George, that's all I have. And thanks, and stay warm, and make sure you see your shadow on Monday. I'll text.
All right. You take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And that frees up one of our phone lines. If you'd like to jump in, pick up the phone, dial the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. Back to the phone lines we go. Good morning. You're on the Sports Line.
Morning, George.
Good morning.
It's hard to follow a celebrity like Charles.
Well, he does cast a big shadow, yes.
He's the best. He's the best. Hey, in 1995, I was at a golf tournament in Nemacolin, and John Brody was in that tournament. Was he a professional golfer?
He did play on the senior tour after he stopped playing.
Oh, okay, because I remember seeing him.
He was a very good golfer. As I mentioned, he lettered 2 years at Stanford on their golf team.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, that's
but
a shame.
I caught up with him several times. He used to play in the Mario Lemieux Golf Classic all the time.
Oh, okay. See, I was surprised when I went to that golf tournament at Nemacolin, and here I'm walking to the hole where he was, teeing off at the hole there at Nemacolin. I said, John Brody, he's a football player, I didn't know.
One of my favorites, and when he used to play...
He was the best. I saw him play. He was one of the best.
When he played in the Lemieux Classic, I used to go, and I talked to the different celebrities who were there. I always made a point to catch up with John and talk to him. He was a very, very good interview. He really was.
That's good. Okay, George, I'll let you go. Let somebody else call in.
All right. Thank you for the call. You take
Thank
care.
you, George.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That frees up both of our phone lines. Do come ahead with your questions and your comments. Anything and everything pertaining to the world of sports is fair game. Lines are wide open. Dial the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. You should have no problem getting through. 724-438-4593. Love to hear from you. We'll be back with more right after this.
You may have noticed a new internet company knocking at your door with claims like, "I'm not here to sell you anything," or "I wouldn't lie to you." The truth is, Armstrong has played an important role in your community for decades, and we're not going anywhere. That new internet provider will probably change their name, get bought out by another company, or fold completely. Armstrong, the internet you count on, the people you trust. Visit ArmstrongOneWire.com today, or anytime in the future.
Fallen in love with a house? Head over heels for a home plan? Take the plunge. Apply for a mortgage loan with First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County. Feeling commitment shy? Complete a mortgage pre-qualification. It's simple. 100% online, and you'll get a personalized answer within 1 business day. Then save the date for a move-in day or groundbreaking and put a key ring on it. Apply online at ffgc.bank. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 458729.
In Catholic schools across the Diocese of Greensburg, education is more than academics. It's a foundation for life. Through faith-centered learning, academic excellence, and strong leadership formation, students are prepared to succeed and serve in today's world. Every lesson, every experience helps them grow into confident leaders grounded in faith and values. Catholic schools in the Diocese of Greensburg are growing a future of faith, excellence, and leadership. Discover more and schedule a private tour at CatholicSchoolsGuide.org.
Chris Parker Jr., it's a new year and a great time to save at Autoland on a new Hyundai.
All with the quality that lets Hyundai offer America's best warranty. Hyundai owner assurance with 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain protection, 5-year, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper protection, and unlimited roadside assistance. We still have a great selection of new vehicles at pre-tariff prices and 0% financing. Or how about leasing a 26 Elantra SE for $199 per month, or a 26 Kona SE crossover for $219 per month? Just see us for details.
Conveniently located in downtown Uniontown and family-owned for over 60 years, Autoland Hyundai has been voted best in Fayette import dealership and one of the best new car dealerships. Another reason is dealing with friendly hometown salespeople, and the third reason is Autoland's award-winning service department, who will continue to take care of you and your Hyundai after the sale.
You can also visit us at AutolandHyundai.com. And remember, you always pay less to drive the best at Autoland
Laurel
Hyundai.
Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott in Uniontown is a proud sponsor of Sportsline. When you work with Janie, it's about going beyond investing. It's about connecting your life and your finances in a way that makes sense for you. The team partners with you through each stage of life to help you set and reach your financial goals. To learn more about the Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group at Janie, be sure to check out their website at www.lhwag.com. Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott, LLC, member FINRA, NYSE, SIPC.
Casey's Sports Cafe, located at 243 South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown and owned by the Vernon family, wants you to know they have new hours. Monday and Friday from 7 to 3, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday 7 to 7, and Saturday and Sunday 7 to 2. Come on into Casey's and check out their new menu ideas and entrees. They can also cater your next event. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Casey's is the place to eat. Call 724-550-4126. Casey's, the best in Fayette County.
WMBS. Hi, this is Pirates broadcaster Greg Brown, and you're listening to the Sports Line with George Von Benko on WMBS.
And welcome back to the Sports Line on this Saturday morning, this frigid Saturday morning. Hope you're staying warm and taking care of yourselves out there. We've got a wide open board. If you want to jump into the conversation, it is a great time to do so right now. You should have no problems getting through. Pick up your phone and dial the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line. That number is 724-438-4593. 724-438-4593. And you shouldn't have any problems getting through right now. We got a wide open board. Love to hear from you on a variety of subjects. We've talked a little bit about the Steelers coaching change. We talked about Hot Stove League baseball with the Pirates. They still have work to do. Touched a little bit on the Penguins. And I must admit, their play has really, really surprised me. So there's an awful lot of things to talk about. Touched on college basketball, the situation at Pitt. They're in danger of not making the ACC tournament if they keep playing the way they are. So whatever you would like to get into, we will talk about it. And our lines are wide open. 724-438-4593 is the number to call. That is the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line. Come ahead with your questions and comments. 724-438-4593. And it looks like you guys are going to leave me hanging. Nobody is picking up the phone lines. We do have a guest in hour number 2. We'll really delve into what's going on with the Steelers, their new coach, and some of the changes to the coaching staff. The fine beat writer from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette who covers the Steelers, Ray Fittipaldo, will join me at 11:30. So we talked about college basketball. Pitt is in action today. In fact, as soon as we end this show at 12 noon, we'll go right to the Pitt Basketball Network with Bill Hillgrove and Curtis Aiken. Pitt sitting at 9-12, 2-6 in the ACC, will be at Clemson to take on the Tigers. Clemson is 17-4 and 7-1 in ACC play. So a tough task for the Panthers today. West Virginia is in action at the Coliseum, 4 p.m. tip-off. With the Baylor Bears coming in. 11-9 Baylor is, 1-7 in the Big 12. Meanwhile, Ross Hodge and West Virginia have done an outstanding job in his first season, having to reconstruct an entire roster. The Mountaineers are 14-7, and they're 5-3 in the Big 12. They've done a nice job. Duquesne is at home tomorrow at noon, playing host to Rhode Island in the Atlantic 10. And Penn State is at home against Minnesota. And the Nittany Lions have not won a game yet this season in the Big Ten. They're 0-10. Back to the phone lines we go. Let's take a call. Good morning. You're on the Sports Line.
Hi, George. How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Falling out, but doing good. I wasn't. I wasn't too happy with the Steelers hire, and months ago I predicted I should have put some money down on it. I mean, I just even before the fans come down on Tomlin at the Buffalo Bills game, I said, I guarantee you, I told about 10 of my friends that the next coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers is going to be Mike McCarthy. No, they're going to go young. And I tell you what, I should have put some money on it, George. And
well,
I don't
if
like
that indeed was the case, you should have put some shekels down on it.
Yes, I never really thought of that. But to me now, McCarthy was the basic Rooney boy. I mean, I said this. I mean, he wasn't going to go into a younger direction. Now, the defensive coordinator, I really know nothing about him. All I knew, he was with Oakland last year when they had the fourth worst defense in football.
You mean Las Vegas? Yeah.
Yeah, Las Vegas. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And that's, that's all I know.
There's a history because he coached under McCarthy before. So there's a history there. Personally, with what happened in Cleveland and what they did to Jim Schwartz, who I think is an outstanding defensive coordinator. Now, he's still under contract, but he said he's not coming back. I would have liked to see the Steelers maybe kick the tires on Jim Schwartz, but it doesn't surprise me that McCarthy went in this direction because he knows this guy. He's had him on his staff before,
Well, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Oakland has learned Max Crosby didn't have the personnel. I mean, I'll give him benefit of the doubt. But
well, actually, if you really want to be honest about it, the Steelers had the highest paid defense in the NFL last year, and the Vegas defense, the Raiders defense, not having near the talent that the Steelers had, was better than the Steelers. Pittsburgh was like a 24th or 25th in many categories. The Raiders were like 17th.
Oh, really? The way they talked, I'm not saying on the talk shows, the morning talk shows, ESPN and that, they were just saying, they downgraded Oakland's defense, which I didn't know that they were a higher rated defense than what Pittsburgh was. But there's got to be a lot of changes, George. And Rodgers, he's done. I don't know. To me, he's like a statue.
Well, I think in my opinion, I think it's pretty much a foregone conclusion for me, and I'll ask Ray Fittipaldo about this. I think that the way McCarthy addressed the Rodgers situation in his press conference, his opening press conference, I think it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that Rodgers will run it back one more year with the Steelers with McCarthy as coach. They're not going to get the quarterback they want in this draft. Everybody thought that this draft, including me, was going to be a great draft for quarterbacks. Most of them did not do well. The only one, in my opinion, who is worthy of a first-round pick is Mendoza from Indiana, and he'll be gone long before the Steelers pick.
Oh, I mean, they project him to be the first pick in the draft. Now, George, I've been watching this Senior Bowl practices. Now, the guy that McCarthy's talking about for bringing from the Saints, he's coaching in the Senior Bowl.
Yes.
One of the
Yeah.
He's coaching. I don't know if he's head coach, but he's been calling offensive plays at their practice.
He's the offensive coordinator in the Senior Bowl for that team. That team.
And the Steelers were. I guess they were talking about McCarthy. He was talking about bringing him in as the OC. And
he's one of the names being mentioned. The other one is the tight ends coach for the Cowboys, who worked for McCarthy in the past.
Yeah. Now I've been watching this. I've been watching that. I'm just out of curiosity. Kuiper has these mock drafts and that. They have the Steelers picking this wide receiver out of Washington. I think his name's Boston. Yes. They said he has similarities to like a Metcalf or something like that. I mean, that's what they're projecting.
Well, I think that that's probably the way the Steelers are going to go with the lack of a quarterback. And I don't want them to do what they did and reach like they did for Kenny Pickett and use a first-round pick. No, do not do that. If you don't have a quarterback who's worthy of a first-round pick, and the only one I think that is Mendoza, you address your second biggest need. They need a secondary wide receiver. They've needed one for 3 years now. You address that. You pick a wide receiver.
Well, George, I think they need a core of wide receivers. Other than Metcalf, they need a whole core. I mean, the Calvin Austins, the Thiesens, whatever his name was.
Thielen is gone. He's retired.
And that guy, what two names, they put him on a practice squad.
Valdez-Scantling, yeah.
And see what you got with Wilson. I mean, see what you got. If he was a bust, just see what you got with the guy.
He's had every opportunity, and for whatever reason, I don't know whether Arthur Smith didn't like him or what, but he never got on the same page with Rodgers. And I find that a little disturbing because Rodgers was helping most of the young guys get along. I really don't know what's going on with Roman Wilson, and this is really going to be his last chance.
Well, George, how desperate was Ohio State by taking, I don't know, I kind of cried my beer on that one. That pretty much, made him, picked him up as an offensive coordinator, Arthur Smith. I don't know where that come out of left field.
My first thought was, haven't they watched the Steelers' offense the past few years? But, let's face it, he's going to Ohio State, and he's going to have to do some serious damage to mess up the players and talent they have on that team. Talent is
George,
rampant at Ohio State.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before you let me go, I've been watching. Here's a pick I'd like to see the Steelers get. I don't know if he's going to go in the first round. There's this linebacker out of Texas Tech. I think he finished fifth.
He's going to be gone. He'll be gone in the first round. Yeah.
You think he'll go in the first? Because they're projecting him.
I think he will go in the first. He's that good. He's really good.
I mean, this kid would be great to call. He reminds me of an old-type linebacker. He got movement in the field. Like, say, Patrick Queen. He got blown out, a lot of times by tackle. This kid, I'd love to see if he hangs around.
That's an area that they're going to have to address, the inside linebackers, not the outside. They've got enough outside linebackers. But I got a feeling he'll be gone before the Steelers get a chance to pick again because they're going to go. I really think they should go wide receiver first round. I think they need to. Yeah. I got to run. I'm up against the news.
Okay, have a good one, George. Talk to you next week. Stay warm.
Take care. Bye-bye. And that puts a capper on hour number 1 of the Sportsline. Do not touch that dial. Stick around. We've got another full hour of sports talk coming up after the latest news here at the top of the hour. And we'll start off once again in the open line mode, so you have a chance to get in some more phone calls at the beginning of hour number 2. And then we're really going to dive into the Steelers coaching change in depth and the Steelers offseason in depth with one of my favorites, the beat writer for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette covering the Pittsburgh Steelers, Ray Fittipaldo. Ray Fittipaldo will join me at 11:30 in hour number 2. That's what we have on tap coming up here in hour number 2 of the Sportsline. The Sportsline is being brought to you this morning by my good buddy Tom Vernon and KC Sports Cafe, located right here on South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown. The Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville, and by Bogies at Duck Hollow, now under new management. Come on out, enjoy fine dining. Phone 724-439-2150, located at 374 Duck Hollow Road in Uniontown. Bogies at Duck Hollow. Okay, the news is coming your way next from the CBS Radio Network, right here on your local station, 590 AM and 101.1 FM, WMBS, Uniontown, Pennsylvania.
The This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Peter King. The snow is falling hard from Georgia and Tennessee up to Virginia. Virginia Beach could get as much as 8 inches before it's all over. Correspondent Skylar Henry is there.
The wind, it is intense here already. This area anticipating several inches of snow. We could see much more inland. Crews say that they have been pre-treating roads, but coming off of the last winter storm just a few days ago, they say they'll need all the help they can get.
CBS New York meteorologist John Elliott.
Snow for parts of Alabama into North Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, from Wilmington to Edenton. You're going to be dealing with accumulating snow. That's why you have all of these winter storm warnings and advisories. Wind is going to be a big issue. Power outages, always a concern. Still over 100,000 without power from the last storm.
A partial government shutdown is expected to end with a House vote on Monday. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns says the Senate acted quickly and in a bipartisan mode to avoid something much more drastic.
Just hours before the deadline, the Senate passed 5 bills to ensure most of the government is funded through September. And they agreed to fund the Department of Homeland Security for just 2 weeks, buying time to negotiate new rules for immigration and customs enforcement.
That holdoff on DHS funding comes after the outcry from 2 shooting deaths of U.S. citizens during the immigration crackdown in Minneapolis. CBS's Ian Lee says a surprise concert there will help the families of the 2 people killed this month.
Friday's protest grew after a benefit concert with a surprise appearance by Bruce Springsteen singing his new protest song, Streets of Minneapolis.
Citizens stood for justice, their voices.
Proceeds are going to the families of Alex Preddy and Renee Good.
The day after some 3 million pages from the Jeffrey Epstein files were released, some of Epstein's survivors want to know what the Justice Department is still holding back. So do Donald Trump's critics. CBS's Ed O'Keefe.
The White House says there are several, quote, sensationalist claims against the president, and the Justice Department says it withheld about 200,000 documents for various legal reasons, and that their review of the Epstein matter is now complete.
Palestinian officials say Israeli strikes have hit Gaza with deadly results. CBS's Kelly O'Grady.
At least 23 Palestinians were killed in Israeli strikes, marking one of the highest tolls since the ceasefire agreement back in October. Several buildings were hit in different areas, including a police station and a school. A hospital in Gaza says 3 children were among those killed. Israel's military claims they attacked in response to Hamas violating the ceasefire agreement.
Palestinian officials now say 30 people have been killed. This is CBS News.
Real crimes, real justice. Follow and listen to 48 Hours on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Route 21 Furniture. Take the road to your perfect home.
Sleep well tonight. Try out a new mattress from Route 21 Furniture with a large selection of mattresses, all sizes and comfort levels, with great prices, free local delivery and setup, and financing options. Route 21 Furniture. Open weekdays 9 to 5, Saturday 10 to 5, Sunday noon to 4. 724-737-2222 or Route21Furniture.com.
Route 21 Furniture. Take the road to your perfect home.
Ready to score big on your next home? Well, great news. Huge savings are waiting for you at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. From open floor plans perfect for game day parties to energy-efficient homes that will help you save money all season long, these homes are built to deliver. Don't wait on the sidelines. Make the winning play today and find the home that fits your family and lifestyle. Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon at 4500 Route 51.
Tomorrow is the deadline for flyers to have a driver's license or other ID with a real ID star or pay $45 before getting through TSA. TSA says if agents have to check your ID through their system, it could take a half hour, and if you can't be verified, you could miss your flight. When it comes to alcohol, there's vintage wine. Then there's this.
At the historic mining town of Alta, Utah, an archaeological team found a bottle of alcohol buried for an estimated 150 years. The contents are currently being studied. How might the alcohol taste?
I don't know that anyone's going to really like it if they try to drink it.
Operations manager at Moonshine University, Clay Smith, says, however,
you could learn quite a bit from it. Potential flavor profiles, yeast profiles.
Is it worth trying to recreate a 19th century beer?
I don't know that's going to yield something better than we're capable of in our day and age.
Stephen Kaufman, CBS News.
And I'm Peter King, CBS News.
Happy New Year! Go to Ford of Uniontown and trade me in.
John Clayton with Dominic Carbone from your 7-time President Award-winning Ford of Uniontown. Dominic, Happy New Year to you.
Hey, JC, to you as well. Let me tell you how we are going to get this new year started off right. Take up to $6,000 off MSRP on 2025 F-150 SCX and take up to $4,000 off MSRP on 2026 Explorer.
Dang, Dom, that's a deal. Listen, we have great offers on all of our new models. And check this out, leasing is back. Lease offers have gotten significantly better, so stop, click, or call to get all of the details.
Pre-owned, you know we got them. We have over 60 in stock. Most are certified with factory warranty and competitive rates.
We are continuing to offer mobile service, online maintenance appointments, and our very popular pickup and delivery option. Your car knows, shouldn't you? That's Ford of Uniontown on the hill across from Applebee's, or check us out at FordofUniontown.com. Offers include all applicable incentives. Sale ends February 2nd.
Don't miss out on Economy Furnace's end-of-season sale. It's the perfect time to upgrade your home's heating system with incredible savings. Take $250 off any furnace replacement, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. For qualified buyers, we're offering 0% financing, making it simple to invest in a new energy-efficient furnace. We proudly partner with Amana, bringing you the highest quality furnaces on the market. At Economy Furnace, we define excellence in every aspect of our business, from our expert technicians to our customer-focused approach. With Economy Furnace, it's not just a furnace, it's peace of mind. Our end-of-season sale provides unmatched value, combining affordability with premium quality. Economy Furnace is committed to excellence. Our team of qualified professionals is ready to ensure your home stays warm and comfortable throughout the year. Contact us at 724-438-4575 to learn more.
For economy, price, and quality service, call Economy Furnace.
Wow, your dog looks beautiful. We went to Mutts on Market Street, the dog grooming salon in downtown Brownsville. Samantha has over 10 years dog grooming experience. They work with any dog, any breed, any size.
Didn't it cost a fortune?
No, the prices are great. They offer a full line of grooming and other services.
Mutts on Market Street, now in the new location, 15 Bridge Boulevard in Brownsville at the old Dukeman's Beer Distributor. Same great service for dogs and cats at the same great prices. Mutts on Market Street, now in the old Dukeman's in Brownsville. For more information, visit Mutts on Market Street on Facebook. Well, much cooler temperatures are here, but you could still enjoy your deck or patio with retractable or fixed awnings from Lifetime Awnings. Made in the USA with manufacturer and customer guarantees, Lifetime Awnings products last. Lifetime Awnings is veteran-owned and operated with a 10% discount to all military veterans and their families. Call Lifetime Awnings 724-554-6067 for a no-cost or obligation home consultation. Or email John, the owner, at lifetimeawningsusa@gmail.com.
Are you looking to list or sell your house? Now is the time to let the professionals at Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty help you with all of your real estate needs. Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty has 2 convenient locations to better serve you. In Uniontown area, 724-437-7100, or in Connellsville area, 724-628-7200, and speak with one of our real estate professionals. Visit our website, caldwellbanker.com. We have been proudly serving Western Pennsylvania area for over 30 years and look forward to helping you with all of your real estate needs. Broker Paul Borges.
Hi, folks. Your host Sal Santori here on 100% Truth. Join us this week as we visit with Alan Leidick, owner of the Greenberg Newsstand right here in Heartland, Americana. Join us as we talk about our local community and how current proposed legislation could affect all Pennsylvanians and PA industry. We invite you to join us for coffee every Sunday morning at 6, Monday drive at 5:15, and Tuesday start your lunch with us at 11:15.
Your local station, WMBS.
Welcome back on board for hour number 2 of the Sportsline. Being brought to you this morning by my friend Tom Vernon and KC Sports Cafe, located right here on South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville, and by Bogies at Duck Hollow, now under new management. Come on out. Enjoy fine dining. Phone 724-439-2150, located at 374 Duck Hollow Road in Uniontown. George Von Benko with you as we forge ahead into our second hour, and we continue in the open line mode. It's your chance to get up on that soapbox and be heard. Whatever you would like to talk about pertaining to the world of sports, we'll talk about it. And if you had some problems getting through in our first hour, you should have no problem right now. I am gazing at a wide open board, so it's a great time for you to pick up the phone, dial the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. That number again, 724-438-4593. Do come ahead with your questions and comments. And we've covered a wide gamut in our number one, run the gamut, so to speak. We've had some baseball talk on the Pirates offseason and hot stove league talk. Lots of talk about the Steelers coaching change and upcoming changes. A little bit of college hoops talk. Didn't bring up the fact that Pitt is going to be tarping the upper decks in the end zones at Acrisure Stadium for better atmosphere, as they put it, and aesthetics. Your thoughts on that? Pitt football just has never really caught on at Acrisure Stadium. And we've had a little bit of hockey talk on the surprising Penguins, who are going for their sixth straight win this afternoon against the New York Rangers. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Take our first phone call here in hour number one. Good morning. You're on the Sportsline.
Hey, George. It's been a while since I got a chance to call.
Well, thank you for checking in. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. A lot of complaints out there about McCarthy being hired. Sports commentators and public in general and everything. I myself, I'll tell you, my view is I don't really have a problem with it. I think it's okay. I think it's a wise choice, quite honestly. I really do.
Well, I don't have a real problem with it. The only thing that gives me slight pause is if you look at the last few years of McCarthy when he was with Dallas. Of course, let's take into account who he was working for, too. He was working for Jerry Jones. But the last few years sort of remind me of Tomlin's last few years. Okay in the regular season, not able to get it done in the playoffs. And if you look at their resumes side by side, they're almost exactly the same. One Super Bowl win. McCarthy got his over Tomlin and the Steelers. So it gives me some pause, but he is a veteran coach, and he has had a track record with quarterbacks. Now, that being said, you need to get him a quarterback.
That might be the whole thinking behind all this and everything, because I do believe he's going to be, relatively speaking, somewhat of a temporary coach. He might be around for that 5 years and that his contract's running, and that's going to be it, I think. But if he's pretty successful and everything, you never know. You might be able to squeeze 10 years out of him or something like that. 10 years from now, he'd be 72.
There's a lot of things that have to be answered. I have been very, very engrossed in what he is doing with his staff. And I was concerned about that because notoriously the Steelers are one of the teams in the NFL that has the lowest pay grade for their assistants. I think they were fourth from the bottom. And he needed some good assistance. That if there was a real downfall to Tomlin, it was his coaching staff. After LeBeau left and some of the other people that he was forced to keep, it seemed to me like he was getting yes men, and of course, I found it. Of course, you get what you pay for too. But I found it ironic that it was revealed about a week or so ago that his defensive coordinator, Austin, was actually making at one of the lowest ends of any coach in the NFL, less than $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
So I was worried about that. Maybe he got an agreement when he signed from the Rooneys that, hey, you've got to spend more money on assistant coaches. The other thing is the Steelers had the smallest coaching staff in the NFL, but that looks like that is going to change as well. That might have been also he was able to get the Rooneys to agree to.
Yeah, I think they need a coach specifically to concentrate on quarterback.
Well, they're keeping the one guy who was there. Arth is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I really don't have a problem with it. Like, you mentioned about when he was down there with Dallas and Jerry Jones and everything. And, for years, George, I would always shake my head when Dallas would, under Jerry Jones anyway, would hire a new coach. I would shake my head and say to myself, what's that fella thinking? He wants to go down there and work for that, because I just think he's a big bozo, Jerry Jones. I mean, he really is. But Dallas, they got the reputation, they got the money, and it's a flashy city, sort of, and everything like that. I can see why somebody would want to take that, but I really think McCarthy's going to be okay. He's got a lot of work cut out for himself, though.
Well, a lot of work, and they've got to get started on getting ready for the draft that's coming up. They're not going to get the quarterback in the draft. I really thought this year's class was going to be much better than it turned out. And the only one, in my opinion, who's worthy of a first-round pick will be long gone before the Steelers pick, and that's Fernando Mendoza from Indiana. So, in light of that, you don't reach for a quarterback. You don't do what you did with Kenny Pickett. That would be a terrible mistake. You go and address your other needs. You go get a good wide receiver. They need another wide receiver badly. They've needed one for 3 years, and they've never addressed it. You go get a good young wide receiver.
You never know, though, when you're going to find these diamonds in the rough. I mean, Tom Brady was a 6th rounder.
Well, I don't mind picking stuff, but I'm not wasting a first-round pick like we did on Pickett.
No, not first round. No. I
not
agree
even
with you
second round. I mean, I might go the latest I'll go on some of these other quarterbacks is 4th or 5th round. I'm not.
But I remember when they.
Because they have too many other areas to address. They need wide receiver. They need to address the secondary. They need to address inside linebacker. Those are all. I remember, and they need to address an aging defensive line.
I remember when they drafted Ben Roethlisberger from Miami of Ohio. A lot of people were like, "Who? From where?"
Well, you know who was beating the drums for him? It's in my book on Dick LeBeau. LeBeau, legendary.
Oh, is that right?
Dick LeBeau saw him play because Dick lives in Hamilton, Ohio. Saw him play a lot, and when they went around the table asking the coaching staff, who's your pick for the first round? And Dick usually stayed on his side of the ball defensively. When they got to LeBeau, Cowher just said, okay, Dick, we know who you want. We don't need to hear it again. He wanted Roethlisberger.
You must have been talking about him a lot then.
He wanted Roethlisberger, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was something. That was quite a find there. But how often is that really going to happen? Because, you mentioned Pickett. I mean, that was a... That was just a
disaster.
Yeah. It really, really was, But I'm kind of high on McCarthy, And hey, one other thing. I don't know how much time I have, but this whole thing that Pitt's going to do with the stadium and everything like that.
What do you think about that?
Well, I'll tell you. Pitt, from what I can remember, I'm not a real big Pitt fan. I'm a Penn Stater, okay, but Pitt has always had a problem with drawing people to their home games. I mean, sometimes it's like embarrassing, They show the stands and stuff like that, and they look more than half empty.
It's been particularly worse. They never really have caught on at Acrisure. It's not on campus. They do get students, but sometimes that can be hit or miss. Pitt Stadium was on campus, and they drew a little bit better on campus. They've been bemoaning the fact that they don't have an on-campus stadium for a long time. Well, there's nothing they can do about it now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's no land over there. I don't think they're going to be able to build another stadium. I've seen other places do this. What it will do, maybe, is if they do get a fairly decent team, there won't be as much inventory for seats, and it'll make getting a seat a little bit more difficult, which might increase their season ticket sales. You want to be guaranteed to get a seat. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I think that is in the back of their thinking.
Well, I've never been much of a Pitt fan, to tell you the truth. I grew up in a time when I was younger, it just seemed like Pitt athletes were always like, I don't know, they were all a bunch of thugs or something. They're always getting in trouble, getting arrested by the police,
Well, I've known some
getting suspended and this and that. And that gave me a bad taste in my mouth.
I've known some great Pitt people. Freddie Mazurek from Redstone. Paul Martha, guys like, that team in '63 was all within 50 miles of the Pitt campus. Of course, recruiting has changed a lot since then. And every single one of those people on that team either became a doctor, a dentist, or a lawyer, or one of the professions. And so you can't paint them all with a black brush. But in any case,
I'm not.
Yeah. And let's face it, Penn State has had their share of problems, too, over the years. Every school has.
Oh, absolutely they have. How disappointing a lot of that stuff was, you know what I mean?
Right.
But, hey, Penn State, I'll tell you what, those wrestling fans out there, those and folks that are collegiate athletic fans, Penn State has a tremendous wrestling program. They've been national champs like 10 out of the last 12 years.
Well,
I don't know how many people out there know that.
Sanderson has done a great job. Of course, he was a great wrestler in his own right. He's done a great job there. Hey, listen, I appreciate your call today. Thanks for checking in. You take care.
Thanks a lot, George.
Take care. Bye-bye. And let's move on to another call here. Good morning. You're on the Sportsline.
Hey, George. Thanks for getting Ray on today.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to get him on, and of course, it made a lot of sense after they made the coaching change.
Right. I was wondering if you could slip in a question for me to him. I heard him mention the other day that he thought that Patrick Queen and Jalen Warren could be on the chopping block, but I didn't hear why.
Okay, I will. Warren and Queen.
Yeah, Patrick Queen and Jalen Warren.
May be gone. Okay, I'll ask him. Yeah.
Anything
else?
That.
Yeah.
Yeah, real quick. What's the deal with this defensive coordinator?
Patrick Graham.
You know anything about him?
He worked for McCarthy before. He worked with him in Green Bay. And
he got a good history.
They have a history, so that's one of the big reasons why. And he has served as defensive coordinator for the Raiders, Giants, and Dolphins. So he has been a defensive coordinator. And I think the biggest thing is McCarthy worked with him in the past. They have a history. And you know as well as I do, when people are filling out staffs, you go for people you know most of the time.
Right. Okay, and one last thing. I'm not sure how this college portal works. Do you have any update on Rodney Gallagher?
Gallagher's gone. He went to Arizona. Yes. He's out there. He's out there already.
Oh, see, I didn't know. That's what I said. I don't know how that even works.
Well, it's over now. It ended in December, but Rodney, right before the portal closed, he signed with the Arizona Wildcats.
Okay, interesting. All right, that's all I got for you, George.
Okay, thank you for the call. All right, take care.
All right, buddy.
And we're going to get Ray Fittipaldo on here in just a bit. Lots to talk about concerning the Pittsburgh Steelers. A new coach, Mike McCarthy. It's the fourth coach that they've had since 1969. A lot of people are down on the choice. A lot of people like it. There's varying opinions about it. He's cobbling together a staff as we speak, and certainly there's a lot of work to be done with the roster. And we're going to get into all of that with my good buddy Ray Fittipaldo, beat writer for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, covering the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we'll get Ray on here directly, and we'll talk Steelers, maybe talk a little Super Bowl as well, get his pick. But we'll be back with more here on the Sportsline right after this timeout.
You can go to Big Box Medical Office.
Now serving number 3,943.
Or
Hi, come on in. How are you?
for personal, professional health care you can trust, see Dr. Paul Hardley and nurse practitioners Tara Bozek, Jessica Reckhart, and Stacy Morris, proudly serving our community for over 30 years. Need care today? Walk-ins are always welcome. For your primary care, call Dr. Paul Hartley at 724-437-1109 or visit ppcp.org. Or
serving number 3,940.
Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott in Uniontown is a proud sponsor of Sportsline. When you work with Janie, it's about going beyond investing. It's about connecting your life and your finances in a way that makes sense for you. The team partners with you through each stage of life to help you set and reach your financial goals. To learn more about the Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group at Janie, be sure to check out their website at www.lhwag.com. Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott, LLC, member FINRA, NYSE, SIPC.
Chris Parker Jr., it's a new year and a great time to save at Autoland on a new Hyundai.
All with the quality that lets Hyundai offer America's best warranty. Hyundai owner assurance with 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain protection, 5-year, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper protection, and unlimited roadside assistance. We still have a great selection of new vehicles at pre-tariff prices and 0% financing. Or how about leasing a 26 Elantra SE for $199 per month or a 26 Kona SE crossover for $219 per month? Just see us for details.
Conveniently located in downtown Uniontown and family owned for over 60 years, Autoland Hyundai has been voted best in Fayette import dealership and one of the best new car dealerships. Another reason is dealing with friendly hometown salespeople, and the third reason is Autoland's award-winning service department, who will continue to take care of you and your Hyundai after the sale.
You can also visit us at AutolandHyundai.com. And remember, you always pay less to drive the best at Autoland Hyundai.
NovaCare Rehabilitation in Uniontown is accessible for all of your recovery needs. New at NovaCare is pelvic floor physical therapy, a specialized program to treat patients with pelvic floor dysfunction related to bladder, bowel, sexual function, and pregnancy postpartum. These issues can affect both women and men and include urinary frequency, urgency and incontinence, pelvic pain, constipation, IBS, menopause, painful periods, and more. Call 724-437-0556 for an appointment in Uniontown. Personalize your care with NovaCare. In 1986, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville was started with a promise to provide clients with truthful, friendly, and courteous service. It worked. With an expanded client base, the Firestone Insurance Agency's customers are now able to choose from over 20 well-known insurance companies. So whether it be auto, home, business, or life, Firestone has you covered, and the promise to provide truthful, friendly, and courteous service is still in place. As an independent insurance agency, the Firestone Insurance Agency works for you. They do the shopping for you to save you time and a bunch of needless phone calls. Because let's face it, no one loves to shop for insurance. Call the office at 724-455-3900 or visit firestoneinsurance.net. Can't make it to Normalville? Let the Firestone Insurance Agency bring service right to your kitchen table. The Firestone Insurance Agency, 724-455-3900 or firestoneinsurance.net. Doing what is right for the customer, finding the most affordable rates while making sure there are no coverage gaps so you are fully protected from the unforeseen.
Are delinquent credit cards, medical bills, and personal loans stressing you out? Are you unable to catch up? Are the debt collection calls just too much? If yes, then call Zebley Law at 724-439-9200. Zebley Law provides free in-person consultations. Then, using our decades of experience, we recommend a plan for relief. Before hiring a debt relief company or an out-of-town bankruptcy firm, call the local law firm serving Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties since 2001. Call Zebley Law at 724-439-9200.
WMBS.
Hi, this is TJ Watt, and you're listening to the Sportsline with George Von Benko on WMBS Radio.
And welcome back to the Sportsline. Boy, that was a fortuitous bumper with TJ Watt in the bumper because he's one of the guys I wanted to talk with my next guest about. Ray Fittipaldo, beat writer for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, covering the Pittsburgh Steelers, is on the line with me right now. Ray, I hope you're safe and warm because it is chilly out there.
I am safe, George. I cannot say I am warm, at least not when I go outside.
Well, try to keep that to a minimum, okay? Anyway, we just had a fortuitous bumper there. TJ Watt. A lot of people I know have asked me, now that there's been a coaching change and there's going to be a lot of changes on this team, what is TJ Watt's future with the Steelers? A lot of people I know are advocating trading him. From a personal standpoint, and you know why, I have a pretty good relationship with TJ. I'd like to keep him with the Steelers, but, what is the likelihood of him being dealt?
George, I think with Mike McCarthy and Patrick Graham being hired, I think it increases the likelihood that TJ will be back, and I'm not entirely sure that even if they went in a different direction with the coaches, that he wouldn't have been back. This is a longtime Steeler, one of their so-called one-helmet guys, and they do everything they can to make sure guys like that retire with the Steelers. Now, with TJ, it's certainly a different circumstance. They've never had a salary that high. I get it. But getting back to McCarthy and Graham, listen, McCarthy has long been the 3-4 guy. Going back to his days with the Packers, Don Capers ran his defense. Now Patrick Graham is going to run his defense. Patrick Graham coached Max Crosby for the last 4 seasons. Got a lot out of Max. I would imagine that with some tweaks in the scheme, maybe doing some different things with TJ, that they can start to get more out of TJ as well. This wasn't a bad season for TJ. It just wasn't a typical TJ season, and I think everyone, including TJ, wants to see them get back to that.
So, last Saturday, I ended my show. I was on my way home, and then news broke that the Steelers had reached an agreement with McCarthy in principle, and he was going to be the new head coach. Mm-hmm. I spoke with you a little bit later that afternoon. You were a little surprised. I was a little surprised. But you know what? In looking back on things now and the way things were conducted and the way they did interviews, they didn't do as many as I thought they were going to do. They only did a few in-person interviews, and they got the Rooney Rule out of the way with a couple of the interviews, so that was out of the way. I started thinking to myself that maybe this was the plan before the process really got underway, that McCarthy was their choice.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good theory. I'm not exactly sure about that. They also did interview some people over Zoom, which, George, we can get into a whole other discussion about how the NFL does that. I'm not sure, honestly, how much a team or an owner can learn about a coach, talking to them.
Well, and as I pointed out to somebody earlier, when you're talking to the guys who were still in the playoffs, like Shula and Shellhouse, I mean, really, they want to interview for the job, but they're getting their team ready to move on in the playoffs and maybe go to a Super Bowl. How much is their mind really on doing the interview or getting their team ready?
Well, and not to mention, they had other interviews in addition to the Steelers.
Right.
So, they're expected to know a lot about the Steelers roster, just as they're expected to know a lot about the Browns, the Ravens, Raiders, whoever they were interviewing with. It's a flawed process. But, I think getting back to your question about being surprised, they do it on a Saturday. Monday, they could have talked with the Rams assistants, Chris Shula and Nate Shieldhouse, but in the end, they didn't feel like that was necessary. And then looking back now, George, pretty much all these jobs are filled, and Shieldhouse and Shula still don't have jobs. So, maybe those guys were a little bit too overhyped. Maybe they were a victim of the Rams' success. You could say the same thing about Clint Kubiak, who's still playing, as the offensive coordinator for the Seahawks. So, a flawed process, but, I think in the end, the Steelers probably did the right thing. Mike is by far the most experienced coach out there that was hired this cycle, and he has the best resume too. Guy won a Super Bowl, 170 some victories. The guy can coach, and the guy, as we've seen over the last couple of days, can put together a coaching staff too.
Do you think the fact that he's a Yinzer influenced their decision at all?
I mean, I don't think so, but listen, it's 2 out of the last 3, right? Tomlin was the outlier. They went and got Bill Cowher before that. So, yeah, kind of interesting how it's worked out here since 1992. Hard to argue with the success, though, right? Bill Cowher did very well in his 15 seasons here. And I don't know if they're going to get 15 out of McCarthy, but I'm sure they're hoping for a good 5 or 10.
That was the only part of the formula that they did not adhere to. Usually it was a younger coach and a defensive coordinator. McCarthy's 62, and he's regarded as an offensive guy.
Yeah, and I think that was something that was maybe overlooked by the media and the fans as we went into this process. And what I mean by that is just how much the NFL has changed since 2007, right? It's become even more of an offensive league, and I think the Steelers...
quite frankly, Ray, I'll be honest with you. Quite frankly, there were times when the Steelers' offense looked like it was something out of the 1980s.
Yeah, I mean, I think they realized they were behind the times, and Tomlin was, a defensive coordinator before he got there. Obviously, spent most of his time on the defensive side of the ball, and listen, they had Ben Roethlisberger and a bunch of really good, talented players for a while. I think that kind of masked some of their problems. When those guys disappeared, I think the schemes were an even bigger issue. And, with McCarthy back now, the schemes aren't going to be an issue. The issue is talent, though. You look around, there's no quarterback. Other than DK Metcalf, there's no receivers. Now, the offensive line is getting built up. But to my point, they are very much in need of a talent injection on that side of the ball. And I'm sure they'll give Mike McCarthy some talented players in the draft to work with starting this year.
Well, his big chore right now is assembling a staff. And you and I talked about this briefly when we talked before. The Steelers notoriously have been at the lower end of the spectrum when it comes to paying their assistants. They also had one of the smallest staffs in the National Football League. From what I'm seeing, maybe he got some guarantees from the Rooneys about what he's able to spend with assistants and what the size of the staff might be. Do you get that impression?
I do. I think he's going to have some more coaches than Mike Tomlin did. They will have different titles. And it's just, again, it's evolving with the times. There's more analytics positions, and there's more things for these coaches to do. And, the way Mike had it structured, and I guess the Steelers too, because we never really know if they denied Mike the opportunity to hire more coaches. But this, Pat Meyer was the offensive line coach, and he was the run game coordinator.
Right.
I think the way that McCarthy's going to structure it, he's going to have his offensive line coach, and then he'll probably have a run coordinator. He'll have a D-line coach. He'll probably have a run game coordinator on defense, and but in the end, they're probably going to have 5 or 6 more assistant coaches than Mike had over the years. So, if you're the Steelers and that can help you win a playoff game and it costs you an extra couple $1 million, so be it. They've been starved for a playoff victory since 2016, and adding a few more assistant coaches, quite frankly, is probably a bit overdue.
So, let's go through the list as we know it so far. They're going to choose Graham as the defensive coordinator. There's a history there. He worked with McCarthy with the Steelers, and he's been a defensive coordinator with the Raiders, Giants, and Dolphins, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
After that, we're keeping 4 guys, I believe, right? From the old staff.
You're keeping McCurley, you're keeping Grant Alexander, and who else is there? Somebody else who's...
the passing, or the quarterback coach.
Tom Arth, correct.
Yes. And there's one more, right?
I think that's the only 3, George.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, all right. So, they have named an offensive line coach.
Yes, James Campen, who's a longtime Packers offensive line coach. He comes with a very good reputation. If you look at those Packers lines, when they were really good, they had to pay their stars. They had to pay Rodgers. They had to pay their receivers. They had some high price tags on defense. And they really got by developing mid-round draft picks. You look at David Bakhtiari, probably the best-known lineman, for the last decade of Rodgers' tenure there. He was a fourth-round pick, and you see guys like that, throughout his tenure. Now he's walking into a much better situation. He's going to have more pedigree with Troy Fautanu and being a first-round pick. Broderick Jones, we'll see if he comes back from that neck injury, also a first-round pick. And then, of course, second-round pick in Zach Frazier. So I think he's at a better starting point than where he was with the Packers, but there's still a long way to go. That offensive line, George, got better last season, but they're still not the dominant unit they want to be, and we'll see if James Campen can help them.
That was one of my big things. I wasn't a big fan of the old offensive line coach, and I thought a change should have been made because, let's face it, they have expended capital on the offensive line, but they haven't gotten the bang for their buck yet.
Not yet. And, the pass protection was good this year, and I give them credit for that. But, George, they also had Aaron Rodgers get rid of the ball in 2.5 seconds on average, which was the best or the worst rate, however you want to look at it, in the NFL in 2025. So they certainly made for some adjustments after they got off to that rough start. When I say rough start, it was mostly Broderick Jones who was having those issues. So, Mike McCarthy talked about it. He wants a strong running game. He wants to be able to do play-action passing off that strong running game. And what do you need if you're going to run play-action passes? You need really good pass protection up front because those are longer developing plays that are going to take, 3, 4, 4.5 seconds to unfold. And we just didn't see those types of plays from the Steelers last season because I don't think they had confidence that their offensive line could hold up.
Let's talk about some of the other coaching spots. What are you hearing about offensive coordinator? And we did find out in his introductory press conference, McCarthy said he will call the plays, right?
Correct. Mike is going to call the plays. He's pretty much done that his entire career. I think there was 1 year he gave up the play calling duties. He didn't like it, and then he was right back to it the next year. So that's a slam dunk. Now, Scott Tolzien, a former backup quarterback to Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, is going to be interviewed, I believe, this week. He's down at the Senior Bowl coaching either the East or West team down there today, so I'm sure he'll get on a plane tomorrow or Monday and come up and visit with McCarthy. They're also interviewing Luna Wells from Dallas, who worked with Mike with the Cowboys. So those are the two names that have surfaced so far for coordinator. So I would imagine, unless there's a third candidate we don't know about, it's either going to be Wells or Tolzien. It seems like Tolzien is probably in the front runner right now as we speak. He's also a guy who played backup quarterback for the Colts, was around as a player for about 8 to 10 years, and then jumped right into coaching. So there's a lot to like about that.
I heard some good things about him. Supposedly, he did a fairly decent job with the young guy in New Orleans.
Yeah, Tyler Shuck. I really like Tyler Shuck coming out of Louisville last year around this time. Now, I don't want to say he fell in the draft because I think he ended up being a second round pick. But guy has a lot of ability. But yes, Tolzien got the most out of him this year. The Saints, were a little bit better than I think people thought they were going to be, and especially on offense. And Shuck took a first nice step as a rookie. So that's good to know. He's likely going to have Aaron Rodgers for one more year, but then they're going to have to turn the page and have him work with a younger quarterback if he's the guy. And obviously that's either going to be Will Howard, who's going into his second season, 6th-round pick out of Ohio State last year, or a draft pick this year, or more likely in 2027 when that draft class is expected to be much better than it is this year.
We're talking Steelers football with my good friend Ray Fittipaldo, beat writer for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette covering the Steelers. You just hit on the big question, and I said reading the tea leaves, which I've been known to do every once in a while, it appears to me, based on what McCarthy said at his opening press conference, that the door is wide open, and I personally feel, I don't know how you do, I think Rodgers will be back for one more run with the Steelers.
Yeah, it seems like it's trending in that direction. We know his teammates want him back. We know McCarthy wants him back. Now the only unanswered question is, does Aaron want to come back? And, I can only speak to what he told us, throughout the season. He really enjoyed his time in Pittsburgh. Made a lot of new friends and good teammates, and they really built a foundation for something where I think he could take a step forward in 2026. Now the big unknown is, and this just happened last year, but Aaron got married, so now there's a wife involved, and somebody else is going to have a potential say, and when he does hang him up, he's no longer by himself. So that's the one unknown about this process. But yeah, barring a surprise decision from Aaron, I would expect him back for 2026.
Now, let's look at the roster and the way some things could change. We already addressed T.J. Watt a little bit. I had a caller right before you came on with me, and he said he thought he heard you on another show saying, and he wanted to get a clarification on it, he thought you said that there may be a chance that Jaylen Warren, and I find that surprising because I think he just signed a new contract, and Patrick Queen may be gone.
Well, I was talking about Jalen Ramsey.
That's okay. He mistook it. So Jalen Ramsey, you think will be gone?
I think he's a possibility. There might be some trade value there. The only issue I have with Jalen, and I thought he was a team player this year, moved from corner to safety because it was best for the team. But he's got a $17 million cap hit, and they really didn't get a lot of turnover production out of him. So I just don't know if he's worth the cap hit to keep him around just to play safety, unless the turnovers would come in 2026. So that's my one hang-up with Ramsey. And then Queen is pretty much just a math decision. He's a $17 million cap hit, but if you cut him, you could save $14 million, and they could use that money elsewhere on the roster. I happen to think Patrick Queen was better in 25 than he was in 24. He's got 1 year left on the contract, so obviously this decision is going to be made by Mike McCarthy and Omar Khan over the next couple of weeks, but just looking at it from a financial perspective and how much they could save on the cap, Queen is a guy who also could move on.
So looking ahead with some other things, Jones, are they going to pick up his option?
It's really difficult to predict, George. He's got a neck injury, and those are probably the hardest for doctors to understand. I mean, we're probably 6-8 weeks past that injury, and I still don't know if the Steelers know when he's going to come back or how he's going to come back from that injury. And that's just the unfortunate thing about neck injuries. They could be really, really difficult for football players. I mean, look at Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning basically had to take a year off before he could come back. Lots of other careers have been ended by neck injury. So, we have to get a health report on Broderick first, and then there's just the level of play. Dylan.
Well, and I think the play of the guy that came in to replace him really opened some eyes.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was about to say. Dylan Cook played as well or better than Broderick Jones did, and Dylan Cook is under contract for one more year. So you have him. You can play him and figure out if you want to extend him, and then you wouldn't have to worry about Jones. But it's unfortunate. He was a first round pick, hasn't played up to his potential, and then you add the injury on top of that. It's going to be a difficult call for Omar Khan and Andy Weidel. But the one thing that I think it they could still pick it up is just because that was their first draft. He was their first-round pick. I think they want to give him a chance to succeed all they can and, just give him one more year to figure it out. But that's going to be a tough decision for those guys.
Ciamalo, is he back?
I think they can get younger and, use a draft pick on a guy who can come in and compete for a job with Spencer Anderson. Isaac's 32, and George, you know this by being down there.
He's been hurt an awful lot, too.
Yeah. And, they rest him a lot during the week. It was almost like they were propping him up, knowing this would be his last season. So I think you could probably find a cheaper player, find a younger player that you can develop. That's probably the route they're going to go.
The guy I'd love to see return, he may have priced himself out of their market, though, Kenny Gainwell.
Yeah, but they got that exclusive negotiating window from now until, the middle of March, until free agency gets here, George. So I think the Steelers are motivated to get something done with him. He's a really good player. And
I think he liked it here, too.
And Aaron loved him. Aaron was really high on him, too. So if Aaron comes back, Gainwell is going to want to come back. So, I think they can, bump him up, give him maybe $5-6 million a year. And, I don't think it's going to be anything crazy, but that does create the issue of having two running backs on pretty much on the same contracts. And that's okay. Running backs don't make a lot of money, but, they'll be in good shape.
So, looking ahead to the draft, the class for quarterback didn't turn out that well. We thought it was going to be much better. The only guy I would put a number one tag on is the guy from Indiana, Fernando Mendoza, and he's going to be long gone. I don't want them to reach for a quarterback. I would rather they didn't. They have other areas of need. I think in order of pecking order for the draft, wide receiver, possibly cornerback, not possibly, definitely cornerback, inside linebacker, and I'd like to see them also address the aging defensive line again.
Yeah, and I would probably put defensive line before inside linebacker because even with Queens on certain situations, you still have Peyton Wilson there. You got Malik Harrison there. Cole Holcomb's contract is up, but they could actually bring him back on the cheap if they wanted to. So I think they are deeper at inside linebacker, and they are not deep on the defensive line, George. I mean, they got Cam Hayward at 37, playing at an elite level. You got Derek Harmon coming on. I thought Keanu Benton was a little bit better this year, but after that, it's just really thin, and they're going to have to invest in draft capital in that position again so they're prepared for the future when Cam Hayward does inevitably step away from the game.
Ray Fittipaldo, as always, very informative. I love having you on, and thanks for giving us a rundown. Still an awful lot of moving parts. This is going to be a very interesting offseason.
Yep, we got the offensive coordinator next, and then we're jumping over to the combine here in a couple of weeks. So, it should be fun over the next month or so.
All right, Ray, thanks a lot. Stay warm, and we'll talk to you soon, okay?
Thanks, George. Talk to you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Ray Fittipaldo, Steelers beat writer for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, with a rundown of what's going on with the Steelers after the hiring of Mike McCarthy. We're going to get a break in and then wrap up the show. We got Pitt basketball, Pitt at Clemson, coming up at the top of the hour.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses should operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the better business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
For hair that is your crowning glory, you need the professional expertise of Hairstyles by Francie. Celebrating 45 years in business, a full-service salon, Hairstyles by Francie specializes in personalized hair care, from perms to color, cuts, roller sets, and everything in between, as well as hair care for men and children. The three stylists at Hairstyles by Francie, owner Francie Kida-Shimko, Corrine Monaco, and Susan Podlosky, have been in the beauty business for over 50 years. Hairstyles by Francie also has a small selection of wigs and hair pieces for sale, as well as retail products including Matrix, Paul Mitchell, Dioxin, Rusk, and OPI products. So come see Francie, Susan, and Corrine at Hairstyles by Francie, 159 Morgantown Street, Suite C, across from Apothecary Pharmacy, with off-street and handicap parking available. Open Tuesday through Saturday at 9 a.m. with evening appointments available. Phone 724-437-8760. That's 724-437-8760 for Hairstyles by Francie.
Looking for a fireplace? Koval Building Supply at 40 Monroe Avenue in Uniontown is more than your plumbing supply store. We specialize in fireplaces of all fuel types, such as gas, wood, pellet, and electric. We're now featuring Harmon pellet stoves from Forge and Flame, perfect for keeping your family warm and cozy. Call Koval today at 724-437-8824 or visit kovalsupply.com to start planning for the winter season. Koval Building Supply, everything you need to make your house feel like home.
They're the people I trust. It's the place I go. Home Warehouse, where a house becomes a home.
Planning on some home improvement projects in 2026? Stop in Home Warehouse on Connellsville Street, again voted a Best in Fayette place for windows and home improvements for the past 3 years. Home Warehouse is your one-stop shop for all your home exterior needs. There are beautiful windows, doors, and storm doors that will update your home, keep out drafts, and save on energy. Plus, roofing shingles, metal and commercial rubber roofing, siding, soffit and fascia, railing, as well as flooring, home and gun safes, and dog food too. So for great prices and hometown service, stop in and see Sandy and Donnie at Home Warehouse. Open Monday through Friday from 8 to 4:30, Saturday 8 to 12 noon.
Home Warehouse, where a house becomes a home.
Ready to score big on your next home? Well, great news. Huge savings are waiting for you at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. From open floor plans perfect for game day parties to energy-efficient homes that will help you save money all season long, these homes are built to deliver. Don't wait on the sidelines. Make the winning play today and find the home that fits your family and lifestyle. Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon at 4500 Route 51.
It's a new day at WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital, and we're bringing a new level of quality health care to our community. From primary care to specialty services, our team has always put patients first. And now, thanks to our merger with WVU Medicine, our commitment to patient-centered care has grown even stronger. With new resources, a growing staff, and advanced technology, our team is here to provide you with top-quality care when it matters most. Discover the new Uniontown Hospital and see how we've grown.
Casey Sports Cafe, located at 243 South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown and owned by the Vernon family, wants you to know they have new hours. Monday and Friday from 7 to 3, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday 7 to 7, and Saturday and Sunday 7 to 2. Come on into Casey's and check out their new menu ideas and entrees. They can also cater your next event. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Casey's is the place to eat. Call 724-550-4126. Casey's, the best in Fayette County.
WMBS.
Hi, this is Rob King. You're listening to the Sportsline with George Von Benko on WMBS.
And that just about puts a capper on the Sports Line on this Saturday morning. My thanks to Ray Fittipaldo of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Steelers beat writer, for coming on and talking a little bit about the coaching change and some of the things moving forward. Quick reminder, programming note for next week. It's Super Bowl week. And the day before the Super Bowl, I always get somebody on to preview the game. Tom Donahoe still laid up, won't be able to do it, so former Steelers defensive coordinator Dick LeBeau will be my guest, and Dick will break down Super Bowl 60 between the Patriots and the Seahawks. That's next week on the Sports Line, so you want to tune in for that. George Von Benko bidding you and yours a very pleasant good afternoon. The Sportsline has been brought to you by my friend Tom Vernon and KC Sports Cafe, located right here on South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville, and by Bogies at Duck Hollow, now under new management. Come on out, enjoy fine dining, phone 724-439-2150, located at 374 Duck Hollow Road in Uniontown. You're listening to WMBS 590 AM, 101.1 FM, Uniontown, Pennsylvania. We join the Pitt Basketball Network for Pitt and Clemson.
We'll pause 10 seconds to allow stations to identify themselves as affiliates of the Pitt Panthers radio
Station
network.
Identification.
Well, the starting lineups for Clemson being introduced. The teams gather around their head coaches. Brad Brownell down to our left in his 16th season, a winning percentage of 60.7. Jeff Capel in his 8th season for the Panthers at Pitt, averaging 50.8%, and his career in 17 seasons, 55.5%. Starting lineups have been introduced for Pitt: Minor, Cialepa, Corhen, Dunning.